Hey guys, Magpie here. Today you're birdwatching with Magpie. So, game that I'm kind of surprised I haven't even talked about yet, but Star Citizen. So, this game is incredible. I would definitely recommend look at their recent CitizenCon footage. Maybe we can put it up here for you. Just really cool stuff. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So, I'd like to start off with kind of just an overview of what it is and why you might like it. So Star Citizen is at its core a space sim. So it's not 100% simulated, but it's very high fidelity. Uh, so, and that fidelity is probably going to be what you enjoy. And it's really difficult to do justice to exactly what it is in that regard. So, Star Citizen, the idea being is that they're making a persistent universe, which is like an MMO basically, and they're making a campaign. So the campaign called Squadron 42 is available to anybody who backs the game now and gets access to all the stuff that they're developing in progress, which they push out as well they feel it reaches a certain level of quality. Now, the way the game works is it's well, in theory anyhow, uh, would be that so say you finish the campaign, Squadron 42. Your character would carry over from that. So your character, Joe Bob What's His Nuts, would end up being a veteran. So you'd have, the UEE, the empire of, all the humans in the universe, gives you citizenship for having served. So there's some form of benefits there. In Star Citizen players, it's a 9-to-1 ratio of NPCs to players. Depending on the regions that you're in and what you have your settings to for encountering other people and that sort of thing, and if you're seeking out other people. So it's an interesting idea in that basically, in regards to these jobs, there's always jobs being generated because if a player isn't specifically making a job, NPCs are. And if a player doesn't take a job, then the NPCs do. So the NPCs are out there doing these jobs. And some of it may be behind the scenes. Basically it's like, on a server, the idea like, oh, a ship is here doing this thing. But then you warp in there and the ship would be there doing that thing. And you can interact with it. So it's just like, and then of course there's, interstellar travel and exploration and mining, trading, bounty hunting. I mean, pretty much all the professions you could think of. Um, and it's all rep. I mean, it sounds kind of like ridiculous because that's the thing. Actually, it actually sounds not too crazy uh, before you add the level of fidelity that they're shooting for. And that's really the big difference, is that it's that level of detail, which you might not think would really add that much. But I mean, when you're talking about, oh, well, this system operates on, this level due to this component within the ship here, which relies on this, which is just, it's crazy. It's nuts. So it really is like the closest thing you'd have to a space sim, just a sim. And yeah, it looks super impressive. Uh, I hope we're running it back here because the stuff they showed at the recent presentation was really good. Just just good kind of just fly around, do stuff a little bit. But it is in development. It has been in development for a while, probably not too long regarding the general development cycle of games. But the only downside is that, well, if you can call it a downside, it kind of is that they are extremely open. There's information overload in regards to the development on the game because they treat backers, people who pledge to the game, they pay money for the game, as investors. Because that's a big thing is that I don't think they could actually get investors for the game initially because they were saying, well, nobody wants a high fidelity space sim game on the PC. So they opened it up to crowdfunding, and then the crowdfunding just blew it through the roof. And ever since, I think they have set up some other deals with some companies, other investors since, but they still treat the backers like investors. Like they involve us in so many of their development processes. And like just the information they give to us in regards to everything. I mean, it kind of sucks because on one hand you see everything getting done, like it seems to take forever because it kind of does. And normally with most games, you hear about the game, and it's like coming in 2018, and you're just like, oh, Oh, okay. And with Star Citizen, it's like, they shoot for goals, and sometimes they miss goals, and there's some things that they work on, they're not able to, but then they make something else instead in that time, or well, we made this thing, but now we have a new process, and then it's like, well, okay, so this is going to kind of one step back, but then every step forward is going to be twice as fast in the future, and a lot of these little things back and forth in regards to it. So. I definitely recommend taking a look into it. As for pledging, it's up to you because right now the game is not in that full form yet. The next major release for the game, 3.0, is going to have some cool stuff in there, but it's not going to be quite near the full game. For instance, you cannot earn ships in the game just yet, but that is actually coming as like 3.2 or something. But once again, they're shooting for that. Who knows? There's going to be stuff to do. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to give you a taste for what the game should be in 3.0, but it's definitely not going to be what the finished product will be like. So it's worth taking a look at. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And yeah, looks pretty good.